Y'all, I can't even get myself together for this video. The amount of joy that I feel right now, I'm like going to cry. I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying to gather myself. I've got the information organized. I like Holy Mother of God. I'm so happy for the collective right now. There's a mass activation going on globally with polarity reversal, consciousness jumps. The dam is breaking. Here comes the flood. I have a lot to say, and I'm going to take a drink and try not to cry tears of joy. It is wild what is going on in the collective right now. I am happy beyond belief. I didn't think that I would see this coming as quickly as it is. I'm just so happy. So this is like the moment I was built for. All right. So I'm pretty sure that Ian Carroll has literally flooded the global consciousness with a tool that is beyond words. Like I've had to really organize myself with information, and yeah, I'm so freaking excited. This is amazing. So, Ian Carroll has released his buyer app, Buyr, buyer app. Okay. And I have an iPhone, so I couldn't download it until today. And I've been waiting for this for so long. So long. I've been in the psychological arena for about 10 years. Before that, pretty much my whole life, I've been extremely like into fitness and nutrition. I am a farm kid, and I was extremely disciplined in that arena. Yes, I've fallen away from it, but I am so totally reignited. I've been so freaking activated in the last month or so. I am stoked beyond belief. I have so much I want to say. But Ian Carroll has released the buyer app. Okay, so I'm going to go through a simple explanation of what it is. I'm going to explain this on tons of different levels. That's how my mind works. I'm going to go deep. This is going to be a very deep video. I know a lot of people are awakening. I think he started this a few years ago, so he's also new to this, but I am freaking so stoked. Has making leaps and bounds. This is so freaking important for collective. We're literally on the ground running right now. So I am freaking stoked. Okay, so the buyer app, huge activation. I am so excited. So what is the buyer app? Okay, so it is a transparency app that lets you scan food products in the grocery store and instantly see who really owns the brand, which giant corporation sits at the top, how many layers of ownership exist, whether the company is independent or part of a monopoly, where your money is actually going. It does not tell you what to eat. It does not judge ingredients or health labels. It does not push a diet or ideology. Its single purpose is to expose the corporate ownership behind your food. This is important because most consumers don't realize 10 to 12 mega corporations own hundreds of independent brands. Organic or local sounding labels are often just subsidiaries. Companies that make pesticides also own food brands. Food monopolies have quietly expanded for decades. So, Buyer is essentially a corporate transparency tool for your grocery cart. When you scan a product, it reveals the family tree of ownership, making it clear whether you're supporting a genuinely small or independent brand or a massive corporate conglomerate. So, people finally have a way to see the truth behind food labels instead of guessing. Okay, and this is huge. I have studied under the Czech Institute many, many, many years ago in the holistic lifestyle coaching course. I do plan on getting to the highest level, but I'm currently working on this business, so I have halted that at the moment. I will pick it back up with my mind body activation performance brand. I don't know if you can see that. Map out your higher potential. So I'm extremely into fitness and nutrition. I have lived on a farm my entire life. I know how important food is, soil is, organic growing. I am from the earth in a Native American bloodline since, and as a farm kid, literally my entire life. So I am so happy that this is like going mainstream. People are excited about it. This is like my tribe, and I'm like so happy I could like literally cry. I've I understand like the awakening journey is not easy. It's spiritual, it's psychological, it's in in this realm of health and fitness and nutrition. All of these systems go very deep. They've all been compromised. Education, our schooling systems, like every single pillar of society has been infiltrated. And I'm like so happy. I'm not going to cry. This is ridiculous. Like, I am so happy. So, yes, this level of collective awakening is rare. I see it. I have been in this my entire life, and I'm like so freaking happy. I'm so happy. Like, I've never seen anything created like this. I thought about it. I used the my Fitness Pal app for years and years and years, and that only goes, you're counting your macros and your micros and your calories because you want to be fit and you want to bodybuild. I've bodybuilt for a very long time, and I took it very seriously, so I'm like hardcore, and that didn't even touch at all like the deeper layers of health. And so for over 20 years, I've been waking up early, seeing behind the curtain, studying the soil, the psyche, the systems, the archetypes, the corruption, the patterns. And now finally the world is waking up with me. This level of collective movement is rare. And so I can see that the collective unconscious is breaking open. People who've been asleep for decades are suddenly feeling the tremor. Food sovereignty is the first domino of the Pluto and Aquarius revolution. So we will get ahead. I'm like I'm so inspired. I'm so relieved that this is a global thing. It is a very deep thing. A lot of people get into crime and conspiracy, just the crime aspect of politics and the darker shadow. All of it is important, but this isn't really talked about. Paul Chek is my number one when it comes to fitness and health and nutrition. He understands very deeply. I believe he's a shaman, but I respect him. The Czech Holistic Institute, the Czech Institute, I respect that body of work. I've studied it extremely deeply. I have been like in that know for a very, very long time. I started realizing years and years and years ago that, growing up on a farm, I finally realized, like, I'm like, why the GMOs, 1995, 1996, the genetically modified seeds, we cannot, replant our seeds the next year. My grandfather recently has gotten back into farming, and he is doing the organic route of having cover crops on a mass scale. Like, that man, he's a Libra. He didn't just take a small plot of our farmland. He literally jumped back into farming after 20 some plus years of not farming and went all in with the more organic farming. And I'm like, I'm just like mind blown, and I'm happy and I'm emotional. And so, yeah, the soil is literally and symbolically, it is rising. For years, I've known soil health is human health. Now, millions are realizing the truth in real time. I was calibrated to this decades ago. I'm so freaking like overwhelmed. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. It's a joyful, happy type of. I'm trying not to cry. I'm really trying not to cry. I'm so happy. All right. So, the Pluto and Aquarius energy, I've been nailing that. We are in a different freaking age. The Aquarian age is igniting innovators, rebels, healers, and system breakers. People like me, the ones who see systems on multiple planes at once, finally have cultural traction. This is my age. My Mercury is in Aquarius. I'm a millennial. I lived through so much technological change. Technology, our own seeds are technology. They're patented. They're not owned by the farmers, and that's a technology. Genetically modified is a technology. The Buyer app is a spark, but the wildfire is consciousness itself. People think it's about scanning groceries. It's actually about scanning reality. It's the first tool that reveals the map. And once the map appears, people never go back to sleep. I am so proud of him. I'm so happy for him. I am like just a man leading in this field of, understanding how important food and the earth and soil is. I am so happy. It's electrifying. It truly is. It's an opening of a massive timeline, and I see it for what it is. This is not just a cultural movement, it's a collective metamorphosis. And I'm not just witnessing it, I'm participating in it. It is amazing. All right, so I need to talk about something game changing. If you know me, you know I'm a farm kid, like I've just ranting and raving for a while, who grew up watching the land change before the public ever noticed it. And I'm also the esoteric visionary who can read systems like a psychic MRI, whether it's food, astrology, psychology, or power structures. And for the first time ever, all those layers came together in one moment of pure alignment. I've been waiting for years for something to build what Ian Carroll just launched, the Buyer app. I am so excited because we are not just dealing with food. It's not just about shopping. It's not just about the brand. This is sovereignty. This is nervous system. This is your lineage. This is the health of the soil. This is the architecture of the Aquarian age. This is the future your children will inherit. I'm speaking today as the farm kid who saw the truth before anyone said it, the warrior who protects what's sacred. I'm an Aries rising, Mars. I'm very Martian. The mystic who reads systems like energetic blueprints, the teacher who translates chaos into clarity, the Aquarian or INTJ archetype built to decode these structures and rebuild them, my mind, the mother who sees future generations at stake. I'm going to not cry. I'm not going to cry. The Native American who cares deeply beyond words. This is so ridiculous. I'm so happy. This is wild. What you feel right now isn't just emotional hype, it's resonance. It's the feeling of the collective, like literally finally having a tool in their hands and the knowledge to take power back. This isn't just about food, it's about freedom. For decades, corporations have controlled the food cycle, from the soil to the seed to the shelf. But we are entering a new era, a decentralization era, a sovereignty era. This is the bridge between the soil, the psyche, the collective age shift, the nervous system, generational healing, food sovereignty, and the return of human autonomy. This isn't a sponsored video. This is personal. This is ancestral. This is spiritual warfare disguised as grocery shopping. So let's break it all the way open. That was just my opener. Sorry, I tried to gather myself before I turned the camera on, and obviously I'm still overwhelmed. Oh my gosh, I am lit up. I am lit up in so many different realms. I am so freaking happy right now. Thank goodness. I feel so relieved. I do. I feel very relieved spiritually, emotionally. And this is great. This is wild. This is great. I'm here for the ride. I've been here for the ride. I'm so happy that more people are here for the ride. I'm so happy. All right. My feminine is like, oh my gosh. All right. So, why food sovereignty is the real battlefield of our time. For the past 50 years, giant corporations have quietly taken control of our food system. From the soil to the seeds to the brands we trust. What we're living through is not just a supply chain issue, it's not just health. It is spiritual warfare disguised as grocery shopping. So today I'm breaking down the core corruption behind food monopolies, why soil health equals human health, how corporations weaponize nutrition. I just had a beautiful memory come back. Oh my God, I'm not gonna cry. Okay, so I always say this jokingly, my sense of humor, like Paul Chek is the guru of all gurus. Okay, I literally say that, and it's like I am totally still in the belief that we have to have certain human beings on this planet that are very high in consciousness, intellectually, spiritually, emotionally. We have to have those high conscious people like Jesus, for example, on the planet, at least a couple on the planet, in order to raise the collective consciousness. Even having three of those people on the planet, even if the rest of the people are like not conscious, it stabilizes the grid. Okay, so I was 7, 8, 9 years ago. I don't know, about 8 or 9 years ago. I finally got the chance to not just study online with the Czech Institute. I got to go in person and meet him and take classes. I flew to California. I got to take my daughter. She was 6. I think she was 6 or 7 years old at that time. We flew together to California and took a spirit animal class or whatever. And the very first question I asked Paul Chek was about the soil. I was getting very deep into, just the farming and how all that, just it's a lot. And that was my first question. I was like, how do we heal our soil? Oh my God, that was such a beautiful, beautiful, that was one of the most beautiful moments in my life. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, right? It's not. It's so like important. Okay, I'm a farm kid. Sorry, I'm getting excited about soil. All right, so why soil health equals human health, how corporations weaponize nutrition, how Buyer app is a decentralization breakthrough, how Pluto and Aquarius ties into the food revelation, of course, why conscious consumers will change the world, what this means for farmers, families, and our future. If you've been feeling the intuitive nudge that something is deeply wrong with our food system, you're not imagining it. This is the beginning of the great unraveling. Welcome to the real awakening. And yes, as a farm kid, I 1000% approve. I had to super chat Ian Carroll that, and yeah, I hope he got it. All right, so the coming food revelation. I am never like I don't cry. Like, I'm one of those people that don't cry. I carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. I am like a freaking soldier. I've been a soldier. I am a soldier. And so, like, getting emotional is not comfortable for me. So I certainly apologize. I am so happy. I am so happy. So, why food is the first battleground of a new era? So, if Pluto and Aquarius exposes these systems that control humanity, then the first truth it reveals is this: if you control food, you control people. If you control soil, you control civilizations. If you control nutrition, you control consciousness. Food is not just food. Food is chemistry, emotion, biology, immunity, instinct, identity, memory, ancestry, and sovereignty. Every revolution in history, every empire rise and collapse began with food access. And here's the shadow nobody wants to admit. We handed the food chain over to corporations who do not love us, do not know us, and do not care if we live. Pluto and Aquarius is here to expose that. And I keep saying that because we are in the Aquarian age. This is not a political issue. This is not a dietary issue. This is not an economic issue. This is spiritual warfare through the dinner plate. How food control becomes soul control. Let's name it directly. A population that is nutrient starved, chronically inflamed, dopamine addicted, hormonally dysregulated, emotionally flatlined, mentally fogged, spiritually numb, is a population that cannot revolt, cannot think clearly, cannot break patterns, and cannot see systems. Corporate food isn't just unhealthy, it's disempowering. If your body is dysregulated, your intuition collapses, your nervous system collapses, your sense of agency collapses, your ability to discern truth collapses. This is why food sovereignty is spiritual sovereignty. When you feed a population chemicals, fillers, seed oils, dyes, preservatives, and hormones, you don't just harm their health, you shut down the archetype of the warrior. I need to get a little bit more comfortable. Oh, gracious. You shut down the archetype of the warrior. You dull the oracle. You collapse the sacred masculine. You weaken the sacred feminine. This is why Ian Carroll's Buyer app exploded so fast, because on a soul level, people can feel the truth rising. The fight for sovereignty begins with the fight for soil. Excuse me. The soil is the collective unconscious. The soil mirrors the human psyche. Whatever happens to the soil happens to the people. When soil becomes depleted, humans become depleted. When soil loses biodiversity, society loses creativity. When soil is poisoned, the collective unconscious becomes toxic. When soil erodes, cultural memory erodes. When soil is monocropped, people become psychologically rigid. When soil is stripped of minerals, people are stripped of vitality. The soil is not out there. It is the body of the earth mother. And through Jung's language, it is the somatic layer of the collective unconscious. A society cannot be spiritually awake on dead soil. A society cannot be psychologically healthy while dependent on corporations who see humans as consumers, not children of the earth. When you heal the soil, you heal the psyche. When you restore biodiversity, you restore imagination. When you connect with local farmers, you reconnect with your lineage. When you break up corporate food monopolies, you break up psychic monopolies. The soil is the great mirror. Pluto in Aquarius, why the food system is the next fall. Pluto always destroys what is corrupt. In Capricorn, it destroyed banking systems, governments, corporations, and the old masculine structures. In Aquarius, it destroys. So we move from the age of Capricorn, or Pluto, excuse me. Pluto went from Capricorn to Aquarius, and that happens every 200 something years. And so we have shifted many different cycles. There's so many cycles that have currently shifted, okay? And I'm incorporating this layer in here because it's important to understand what the heck's going on. And I have to add this in here. So, in Aquarius, it destroys technological monopolies, information monopolies, food monopolies, systems that hijacked human sovereignty. Aquarius rules community, decentralization, independence, rebellion, innovation, alternative networks, local systems, and grassroots power. So, translation, Pluto and Aquarius will decentralize the food chain, whether corporations like it or not. Apps like Buyer are not trends, they are Aquarian infrastructure. Just like crypto, decentralized currency, Substack, decentralized media, YouTube, decentralized storytelling, farmers markets, decentralized agriculture. The next 20 years will expose hidden ownership, corporate capture, nutrient fraud, land grabs, seed monopolies, food patents, chemical corruption. And the people who rise will be farmers, homesteaders, regenerative agriculture leaders, soil scientists, wellness educators, creators like myself and Ian Carroll, anyone bringing truth to the root. The revolution is happening from the ground up, literally. All right, I need a coffee. I'm coming off of a full shift per usual and hitting the ground with this. So I'm drinking coffee a little too late, but this is important. And then I'm going to do some more videos on my other series. This is it. This is it right here, right now. It's happening. I want to break it down the way that I break it down. And yeah. Let's go, people. The floodgates are open. It is awesome. How food sovereignty becomes spiritual warfare and liberation. If you are a corporation trying to control a nation, I have such a rebel spirit. I have such a rebel spirit. Yeah. All right. So if you were a corporation trying to control a nation, you wouldn't need weapons. You'd need addictive food, nutrient depletion, hormonal disruption, gut damage, emotional dysregulation, dopamine addiction, and chronic fatigue. You'd need to hijack the root chakra, safety and survival. You'd need to hijack the solar plexus, willpower and confidence. You'd need to hijack the pineal gland, intuition. And modern food systems do exactly that. This is not conspiracy. This is psychology, physiology, economics, and esoteric truth in one. When you reclaim your food, you reclaim your intuition, your vitality, your clarity, your sovereignty, your ancestral power, your ability to resist corruption. Food sovereignty is soul sovereignty. If you want to change a country, change its food. If you want to free a people, free their soil. If you want to awaken humanity, feed them real nourishment. Pluto in Aquarius isn't just exposing corruption, it's restoring the ancient contract between humans and the earth. I literally just did a video about the earth. It's so important. Mother Earth, reconnecting back to Mother Earth. I am breaking this down in so many different ways, and I see it in so many different ways. So many people are adding to the collective to connect back to the earth, and I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. The soil is rising, the people are waking, and the food revelation has already begun. So, as a farm kid who's watched corporations ruin the food chain from the soil up, yes, I have thoughts about this. Many. All right, so Now what am I getting into? All right, so I grew up on farmland. I know exactly what happens behind the scenes. Small farms getting bought up. Yeah, that actually someone was trying to buy up our land and my dad, no, absolutely not. I am like just so you can't make more land. You cannot make more land and oh my gosh. Yes, like we are firm. We are firm. I will tell you that. So anyway, sorry. Small farms get bought up, not ours, just saying. Land gets stripped. We can't be bought. Like Ian Carroll can't be bought. We can't be bought. I feel him on such a soul level. Land gets stripped, chemicals replace soil health, corporate reps show up more than neighbors, and brands that look local are absolutely not. My grandfather has the largest organic garden I have ever seen. And he just hands food out like every single year, every single year. So when you scan your first items on Buyer app, your soul will leave your body and come back enlightened. The reason Buyer app is going viral because people always knew something was wrong with our food. We just never had proof. Buyer basically said, "Here's the receipts. Good luck sleeping tonight." Oh my goodness. Like I'm happy that I'm not one of those people that are just now kicking online. Like I've been doing this for a very long time and yeah, good luck. I'm going to actually explain the steps of like going through this insane awakening towards the end here. So you're not alone. I'm happy I'm not like in that like, oh, I just now know what's going on. I'm just happy I'm not one of those. So this video is for you. This video is for you. So why this Buyer app threatens corporate food empires? Because once people know who owns what, they stop buying from the empire. And once the money shifts, the whole structure collapses. This is the first time people are conscious consumers, informed shoppers, scanning everything, laughing at the lies, choosing freedom over branding. People are awake now, and the spell is broken. All right, so now I'm going to talk about, let me adjust here. Sorry, I'm wiggling the whole camera. I'm like going through so much like, my eye, like I'm like so excited. I'm still trying not to cry. It's ridiculous. All right, so I'm going to go more into, this isn't just about food. This is about freedom. Ian Carroll totally understands this, and I just want to give this more language because I don't really know many people that can break it down. I'm so excited I couldn't even break it down if I didn't actually sit here and organize myself. So most people still think food crisis is about nutrition or health or eating clean. It isn't. This is about sovereignty, the oldest spiritual battle on earth. Because whoever controls your food, your land, your body, your nervous system, your energy levels, controls your mind, your choices, your future, and your children. And in the United States and most of the Western world, food is no longer food. It is a corporate weapon, a tool of extraction, and the quietest form of psychological warfare. But today, something massive has shifted. An app buyer just exposed the corporate empires behind the labels on your shelves. And when an empire gets exposed, it loses its power. This is spiritual warfare disguised as a grocery list. The hidden war you never saw, food as psychological control. People imagine control as political, technological, digital, and economic. But the real control starts at the root chakra, your survival layer. Food is the most powerful form of influence because it hits your gut, your hormones, your mood, your inflammation, your dopamine, your immune system, your decision making capacity. You cannot be spiritually aware. You cannot be mentally sharp. You cannot be emotionally regulated. You cannot be physically sovereign if your food system is owned. That's why corporations moved in. And here's the truth most people don't realize. I just want to take one moment. Ian Carroll's mind maps. I have those mind maps. I don't have that app he has. I need to get on the what app is it? It's not an app, it's a whole software program. Anyways, eventually I'm going to teach myself the software program because I love his presentation style and I would love to bring up this information. I love visuals. A lot of my videos are heavily edited and it's so very time consuming. It would be a lot easier to do it as I do this. But let's just give a moment to his mind maps. I don't know how many years ago. Many years ago, I did the same thing he's doing now, which is starting with starting with a company and seeing who owns what. And it's like, I started realizing that a lot of the organic labels are actually they're not actually organic and not owned by good people. I'll put it that way, like honest people. And that was very frustrating. Like, I've been frustrated about this topic for a very long time. That's why I'm so freaking emotional and happy. So, only 12 corporations control nearly all food worldwide. Everything from small brands, organic labels, local sounding names, all rolled up into the same parent companies. Why did they do this? Because controlling food equals controlling behavior. This is why we call it spiritual warfare. It targets your biology, which shapes your psychology, which shapes your choices. This is not fear, this is architecture. Oh, gracious. All right, so I don't want to repeat myself. I probably have, but it hits a little different every time. So food didn't get worse on accident, it was engineered because disempowered humans are easier to control and hungry humans do not revolt. Corporate monopolies are the modern pharaohs. Most people don't understand the scale of the takeover. This is not, oh, big companies are greedy, oh, processed food is bad. No, this is systemic capture. The same corporations that create pesticides, create fertilizers, own seed patents, manufacture pharmaceuticals, produced packaged foods, buy organic brands, lobby Congress, fund dietitians, and fund universities. They are the same corporations influencing the FDA approvals, nutritional guidelines, school lunch policies, farmland ownership, advertising algorithms, health influencers, and grocery monopolies. This is not capitalism. This is neo-fundalism. And you're the peasant they're trying to keep obedient. So in less than 24 hours, Buyer became the Buyer app that Ian Carroll and his friends launched became the #1 app in health and fitness. Why? Huge congratulations, man. Like, huge congratulations. Why? Because the collective is starving for truth. People want to know who owns this food, what umbrella company profits, what political agendas are behind it, what farms survived, what brands are fake mom and pop labels, who is funding the chemicals in the soil, what companies shape my body without my consent. Buyer does something no other app does. It reveals the empire behind the barcode. This is decentralization in action, Aquarius at full power. And that makes Buyer a spiritual technology. Why corporate food equals spiritual warfare? Corporations learned something ancient civilizations always understood. If you control the food supply, you control the soul. Food affects intuition, clarity, libido, emotional stability, spiritual sensitivity, energy flow, hormonal balance, circadian rhythms, and psychic coherence. If you want a population that obeys, numbs, distracts, consumes, doesn't question, doesn't rebel, and doesn't awaken, you feed them disconnection. Corporate food is engineered disconnection. This is not conspiracy. This is a business strategy. The Buyer app is a weapon of liberation. This app is not about buying local. This is about breaking the illusion. Because once you know that Kraft owns the artisanal brand, Coca-Cola owns the healthy hydration drink, Nestle owns your sustainable coffee, and Kellogg's owns your gluten-free snack, you can no longer pretend you're choosing freedom. Buyer doesn't tell you what to eat, it tells you what is real. And in a spiritual war, truth is the strongest weapon. Psychological reclamation, why this empowers consumers again. Need a coffee protein drink. All right. Gosh, that's good. I've got mushrooms and all kinds of stuff in there. All right. So, food sovereignty isn't just physical, it's psychological. When you choose food consciously, your nervous system stabilizes, your intuition strengthens, your emotional bandwidth expands, your sleep improves, your energy increases, and your mental fog clears. This makes you ungovernable. Corporations don't fear protesters, they fear informed consumers. You can't brainwash someone who is biologically sovereign. The spiritual layer returning to natural law. Every spiritual tradition across history taught reciprocity, land stewardship, seasonal eating, sacred nourishment, reverence for soil. Corporate food severed humanity from nature. Let me repeat that. Corporate food severed humanity from nature. Buyer is the first digital bridge bringing people back to land, farmers, transparency, and sovereignty. This is natural law versus the artificial empire. This is Earth versus extraction. This is Venus value versus Mars distorted conquest. We are shifting back to the real. The future decentralized food networks. Here's what's coming. Local co-ops, micro-regional supply chains, farmer-to-consumer markets, transparent labeling, community-owned grocery systems, regenerative farming, digital mapping of food sources, blockchain food tracking, sovereign nutrition education. The Buyer app is not the final solution. It is the first wave of a decentralization tsunami. Pluto in Aquarius is dismantling systems of control, and food is the first battlefield. This isn't the age of waking up. This is the age of getting up. Food sovereignty isn't just a trend, it's a revolution. Not a rebellion of violence, but a rebellion of awareness. Not a war of nations, but a war of nourishment. Not a fight for labels, but a fight for life force. And you become sovereign the moment you stop letting corporations feed your body the same way they try to feed your mind. Processed, packaged, patented, profitable, and dead. Choose what's alive, choose what's local, choose what's yours, choose what is real. Because the future of human freedom isn't one in Washington, it's one in the grocery aisle. And the Buyer app just gave humanity its first map. Map out your higher potential. Mind maps. I see you, Ian. I see you. Everyone's talking about food labels. Nobody's talking about the soil. And that's where the real war has been happening for over 50 years. So I'm going to be getting into the soil. breaking down the soil. The collapse began in the soil. I am a farm kid. I am here doing what I'm doing. It's the soil, right? People think the food crisis started with grocery stores or with processed foods or with big ag consolidations. I'm taking it deeper, and I know he's taking it here as well eventually, but I'm taking it here now. So it started underground in the layer of earth that nobody sees, the top 6 inches of soil, the birthplace of nutrients, hormones, enzymes, mitochondria repair, gut diversity, and immune strength. But corporate agriculture treated soil like a factory floor instead of a living organism. Healthy soil is alive, industrial soil is dead, and dead soil grows dead food. How the government engineered soil collapse. This didn't happen by accident. It was structured through federal subsidy programs, patent laws, fertilizer lobbying, GMO seed companies, chemical company mergers, land consolidation incentives, nutrition guidelines written by corporations, EPA loopholes, USDA revolving door executives. Crop insurance tied to certain chemicals. The systems didn't fail. It was designed this way because when soil health collapses, farmers become dependent, corporations gain control, rural economies die, small farms disappear, food becomes a commodity instead of nourishment. This is government capture, and it happened while nobody was looking because farmers don't get Netflix documentaries. What farmers saw that the public didn't. Farmers saw yields increasing, but nutrition decreasing. It's all about the money. Yields increasing, but nutrition decreasing. I've watched this my entire life. How old was I in 1995? I suck at math. What, like 7? No. Yeah, about 6 or 7 years old. Yep. Insects disappearing, soil turning to dust, rain no longer absorbing, sickness in livestock rising, seed catalogs shrinking, corporate reps showing up more than agronomists, farms going bankrupt one by one. Farmers didn't need a study. They watched the land die in real time. And once you kill the soil, you kill the culture that depends on it. How big ag captured the food chain from seed to shelf. This is where most people finally understand the scale. Number 1, control the seed. GMOs and patents, farmers forced to rebuy seed yearly. Gosh, I am remembering the conversation I had with my father. When I first learned all of this stuff, I was extremely upset at my own father and preached to high heaven and asked a million questions and was upset that I wasn't told what was even being grown on our farm. And he has actually come back around. He has lost over 100 pounds. He's kept it off for quite a few years now. He is now a health nut. I never thought I would see it in my whole life. I'm so happy. He's come around. A lot of our farms are now fighting against this machine. It's really wild. I literally 15 years ago, I didn't think that I would see this, and I'm so emotional. I just didn't think that I would see this in my lifetime, and I wasn't sure if we were too far gone, and I am now seeing that we are not too far gone. I'm a hopeful human being, but like it wasn't easy not losing hope in moments in time, not going to lie. I've been quiet for a long time as well. And I'm just so happy that I can finally I feel I'm so awakened and alive right now. It's a wonderful feeling. Step 2, control the fertilizer. NPK formulas poison the soil microbiome, dependency loop created. Step 3, control the pesticides. The same companies making pesticides also produce pharmaceuticals. That's a whole huge rabbit hole. So many rabbit holes. Step 4, control the processing plants. Small butchers shut down, only mega plants left. Step 5, control the distribution. If Walmart or Kroger won't buy it, the farm dies. Step 6, control the brands. Buy up smaller labels to keep consumers fooled. That's happening all the time. Control the health narrative. Sponsor universities, dietitians, and FDA committees. It's not I wanted to be a naturopathic doctor. Like there's so like I switched what I studied in college and got so frustrated and all the systems you know, it's frustrating. Like my goodness. It's not a food system. It's a pyramid scheme and you are the consumer that's at the bottom. Soil health is spiritual health. Here's the metaphysical layer nobody talks about. Soil is the body of the earth. Its microbiome mirrors the human gut biome. If you know, you know. Thank you to those who know. When soil dies, intuition collapses, nervous systems deregulate, mental fog increases, spiritual clarity fades, anxiety skyrockets, hormones destabilize. This is why the food crisis is spiritual warfare. They aren't just poisoning the land, they are poisoning creativity, consciousness, clarity, and connection. Because spiritually sovereign people cannot be controlled. Oh my gracious. Why the Buyer app threatens the entire system. Buyer didn't just expose corporations, it exposed the illusion of choice. People are shocked when they learn healthy brands share owners with junk food. Organic companies are owned by chemical giants. Local sounding brands are VC funded. The same 3 corporations control 80% of grocery chains. I'm so sorry. I'm all over the place emotionally. I do apologize. But here's the dangerous part. Buyer exposes the relationships between the corporations, and once consumers see the map, the spell breaks. This is why Buyer is a threat, not to food, but to the infrastructure of manipulation. So what happens next? This is where we shift from the realm that I'm in, because I'm all over the place, to the practicality. What's coming? Community-owned grocery co-ops, micro-farm networks, local sourcing apps, blockchain-tracked produce, they're working on that, actually. Yeah, I'm trying to stay on the on the rails here. Land repatriation movements, farmer to consumer marketplace, decentralized distribution hubs, revival of soil-based medicine. This hits me on every level of my existence, I can promise you. Buyer is a diagnostic phase. The rebuilding phase is next, and it will happen faster than people think. The soil is waking up, and so are the people. Corporate agriculture wanted us disconnected, but the earth always wins. You can't kill a living planet. You can only delay her. Mother Earth, nature always wins. Nature always wins. Just remember that. Mother Earth. Most people think awakening is aesthetic, gentle, or a TikTok. Freaking God, I can't stand it. I'm not on anything but YouTube. It's just annoying. Awakening is a violent, disoriented, lonely, liberating, and ultimately empowering. So I want to break down the real stages of awakening. So we're shifting from the soil into the stages of awakening, and I will close it with this. The ones people never talk about. So we're talking about anger, research, isolation, soul, reconstruction, and leadership. So this is the roadmap I wish I had 20 years ago, and that's why I am putting this in this video. So stage 1, when you are awakening, because I know a lot of people are newbies, rookies, rookies in the spiritual warfare. I love making fun of rookies. It's fun. Not in a like terrible, whatever, mean way, but you know, you gotta poke them in the ribs because it's funny. We all have been rookies, you know what I'm saying? All right. Stage 1 of awakening, the shattering or rude awakening. Reality breaks, you break, the old world can't hold you anymore. Everyone thinks awakening starts with peace. It doesn't. This is a stage nobody warns you about. It feels like betrayal. Whoopsie daisy, I just clicked the wrong thing. It feels like betrayal, heartbreak, disillusionment, existential dread. Everything I believed might be wrong, you tell yourself. For some people, it's a traumatic event. For others, it's a slow realization. Something is deeply off with me, with society, with the systems I trusted. You don't wake up because you're wise. You wake up because the illusion cracks. This stage hurts because your nervous system is shedding identity, not just beliefs. Psychologically, it's an ego death. Spiritually, it's soul emergence. Astrologically, usually triggered by Pluto, Saturn, or Uranus cycles. This is where most people turn back. But if you move forward, your entire reality changes. It starts with rage, confusion, grief, and disillusionment. For me, 20 years ago, the first stage was, why is everything a lie? Why does nothing feel right? Why can't I pretend like everyone else? This stage feels like betrayal because you realize the world you trusted was built on manipulation, hollow systems, broken promises, spiritual disconnection, and fake authority. You're not crazy. You're outgrowing the illusion. This stage is supposed to hurt because identity is dissolving. Stage 2 of the Great Awakening, because I know there's a lot of people that are fresh newbies. Stage 2, after you get slapped in the face and thrown on the ground. Oh my gracious, right? God, it's been a long time. I am so happy. I am so happy. I'm like at tears. It's ridiculous. I do not cry. I've cried a lot this year. Actually, I've been working a lot on my ancestral Native American healing, generational healing. It's been a wild year. All right, stage 2, the obsession and research era. You devour information like your life depends on it, or like I do every single day, because it does. The hunger for truth. This is when your brain goes supernova. This is a stage where you study spirituality, psychology, you study nutrition, corruption, government, history. You rewire your worldview. You binge books, audiobooks. I've listened to over 300 audiobooks. Yeah, you dive into every single topic. I've been there, believe me. I've been there. Videos, teachings, you connect dots at lightning speed. This is where you felt alone but on fire, and everyone else around you feels slow, like they were walking in mud while you were sprinting through timelines. It feels like a portal opened and you're downloading faster than you can process. Most awakened people remember this stage as the time they thought, am I insane or am I seeing something real? You're not crazy. Your consciousness is amplifying. Your intuition is online. Your cognitive function stack is updating. This stage is overwhelming but necessary. Your mind is reorganizing reality. This is the Mercury phase of awakening. Your mind becomes a weapon, a torch, and a radar system. Most people never make it past stage 2. They stay in information addiction. Keep going. So, what is stage 3? The silence and withdrawal phase. I'm an introvert hardcore. Like, 90% of my chart is introversion. The only extroverted part of myself is my Aries rising and my asteroids in Gemini. My feminine, this is my extroversion. Like, yeah. All right, stage 3. The silent and withdrawal phase, like an introvert. You disappear so you can reassemble. The withdrawal. You pull back, you get quiet, you stop explaining yourself. This is the quiet era, the monk era. You stop explaining yourself. There's a loneliness here, but it's sacred. Your old friends don't resonate. Your old self doesn't fit in. Your body wants stillness. This stage is where your aura recalibrates. Your identity dissolves. Childhood coping mechanisms purge. Your shadow surfaces. Your nervous system rewires. You're not withdrawing because you're broken. You're withdrawing because you're molting. This is the cocoon phase, the chrysalis of the psyche, and nobody can save you from it. You must sit with yourself. You're not depressed, you're decomposing. This is when you speak less, you observe more, you let friendship fade, you stop explaining yourself, you stop arguing with asleep people. This is the phase where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna step over. Like I love helping people. I was in a preachy phase for a little bit, but yeah, you only have so much energy. I'm at a stage where I'm like, I only have so much energy and I have a heck of a lot to say. So if you're not in my consciousness, it is what it is. So, you know. All right, so you rest, heal, and detach. Your identity from stage 1 has died. Your new identity isn't formed yet. This is the cocoon. It's lonely but necessary. This is a stage that gives you spiritual muscle. You transformed in silence because the world wasn't ready for your voice. And this is like another reason why I'm so freaking stoked, because the collective on a mass scale is exponentially, like, the floodgates there's so many people involved, and I'm so freaking excited. Stage 4, the second awakening, the metaphysical one. You wake up again, but on a higher plane. This is the awakening after the awakening. It's a cyclical journey, my friend. Cyclical journey your entire life. The more you know, the less you realize you know. It is a wild ride. All right, so this is the awakening after the awakening. And no, that never actually goes away. So, yeah, it's fun. There's the first awakening of the earthly one. Then there's the second awakening, the spiritual one. Your intuition sharpens, your perception deepens, you see patterns instantly, you feel the collective field, you sense timelines, you recognize archetypes. You realize your first awakening was just the demolition. This second awakening is the architecture. This is where synchronicity becomes constant. Your dreams become prophetic. Your relationships shift. Your energy attracts truth and repels distortion. You begin to understand, I didn't wake up by accident. I woke up because my timeline required it. This is a stage where you start stepping into purpose, even if quietly. This is when you suddenly sense timelines. You feel energy, you pick up on patterns, you interpret dreams, you integrate your shadow, and you detach from ego identities. This is when you become the observer instead of the reactor. This is a stage you enter and say, I'm waking up again, but it's a different realm. And then we have stage 5, the return to the world with power. The integration phase, becoming the lighthouse. You come back, but as someone the world has never met before. This is the mature awakening phase. You come back into the world, but not as who you were. My eyes, I still look like I'm almost in tears. Happy tears, I can promise you that. You come back into the world, but not as who you were. You're grounded, you're discerning, your nervous system is different, your values shift, your relationships transform, your boundaries sharpen, your presence deepens. You don't evangelize, you embody. At this stage, you're no longer angry. You're no longer confused. You're no longer trying to wake anyone up. You're no longer performing spiritually. Instead, you become a lighthouse, a healer, a teacher, a stabilizer, a pattern decoder, a bridge between worlds, a storyteller, and a guide. Not from ego, but from resonance. Like the resonance. Oh my gosh. In this stage, your life becomes aligned, not forced. You realize I am the person my younger self needed, and you begin helping others walk the path you've already survived. Stage 6, the collective realization. You realize you woke up early on purpose. This stage often happens years later. You notice more people awakening. You recognize familiar patterns in them, the confusion, the fear, the questions. You see the cycles from a higher vantage point. Especially now during Pluto and Aquarius, millions are entering stage 1, while many of us, like myself, are in stage 5 plus. This is where the early awakeners finally understand. I'm not ahead, I'm just part of the first wave. You become a stabilizer here, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, for others entering the storm. You are the grounded one. You are the lighthouse. You are the pattern breaker. This is the beginning of your calling. And then stage 7, we have the mastery path. Awakening becomes your lifestyle. This stage is very rare. Only people who commit to inner work reach it. You integrate shadow, intuition, boundaries, purpose, embodiment, archetypes, energy, mastery, nervous system regulation, and soul guidance. Awakening becomes effortless, insight becomes natural, synchronicity becomes normal. You no longer chase signs, you live in alignment and absolutely collapse timelines. This is a stage where life feels collaboration with the universe. This is where teachers, mystics, healers, creators, visionaries, and innovators emerge. So, in closing, awakening isn't a moment, it is a metamorphosis. You don't wake up once, you wake up again and again and again. Every time life calls you deeper, and just by being here, just by listening to this, you are already further on your path than you realize. I'm getting emotional again. All right, so it's been a long night. I literally had to get this video done tonight. I should have gathered myself for another couple of days emotionally, because the beauty in this collective tool, global collective tool, they know what they're doing. I have been waiting for this for so long. I'm probably gonna get off here and just cry for a moment. You know, yeah. There are very few people on this planet like Paul Chek, like Dr. David R. Hawkins, like Carl Jung. You know, there's just not very many high conscious people. And I am very in tune with the collective. I've always been very in tune with the collective. I am extremely supportive of people that are working on waking up the collective, and I can't even imagine where we're going to be in even a year's time. It's beautiful. I'm here for the ride. I've been here for the ride. I'm like, let's, let's go on the rocket ship. Like, let's do it. So this is a very, studying into all these systems and what has gone on for so long, over hundreds of years even. It's going to take a lot of time, and I'm not, it's just going to take time. It's going to take time. Tools like the Buyer app, it's going to take time. It's going to take more people becoming aware of what's going on, all the lies, all the corruption, all the illusions. And this is in every realm that you can think of. I just see a light. I see a light, and it's certain personality types can really, I'm very systematic. I'm very spiritual, but I'm also very practical and systematic. And so I can see all the webs. I can see all the detangling that we need to do. And yeah, this is a grassroots, man. This is the Aquarian revolution here. Rebellion. This is amazing. So anyways, I am rambling. I'm going to take a moment for myself. I think I need to cry it out. That's how happy I am. And so hopefully this video was organized, coherent. Hopefully you learned something. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Anyways, like and subscribe. Thank you so much for your support. I'm going to probably add this video to my geopolitics section series. I've got 10 series going on right now, and I will be hammering all of those series in 2026 plus. And so I'm probably I wasn't going to skip back to my geopolitical series, but this video certainly goes into that category. All right, so I'm going to work on my planetary series after this video, after I gather myself and cry in like literal pure joy. All right, guys. Much love always. I'll see you on the other side.